Hey, how's it going? Whoa, it's going fine here. That just gives me an opportunity to show you my signs. See? Are we all seen and accounted for? Okay, good. So, you can stay this time, right? Oh, no. Don't be obstinate, please. Oh, my. This is not going the way I wanted it to. Ooh, you little curse word. There. Slightly crooked. See if I can fix that. There we go. Okay. So I pulled some cards. Now that you got to see my signs and everything else. That's not necessary. I have done nothing to alleviate the clutter here. It's just gotten worse. I should really get on that. I have, but it's amazing how fast it just grows again. The clutter just regrows. So, I pulled cards from 3 of my decks. And the first was from the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck. This deck. And it is the number 57 card. Unmarked Trail. I'm going to come back. And then I pulled 2 from the Angel number deck. Get my finger out of the way. Angel number deck. I was gonna say it looks like a flower, but it does seem to have cabbage leaves, the angel, which is not beyond the realm of possibility, I guess. And so I ended up pulling 2, and they were the... Which one did I pull first? I think I pulled this one first. So it was the 101 card, and the subtitle is Starting Over. That is what it says, right? Yes, it is. And the other that I pulled was the 1331 card, and it is... you know, good fortune. I knew what I was seeing didn't make sense. I saw food. Shut up. It's obvious I have a fondness for food. I don't need any back talk from you. You guys. Yeah, anyway, and then I pulled 2 cards from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. Oh, sorry, 3 cards. Oh, and let me rephrase that. I went to pull 1 and 3 flew out, or fell out, or whatever it was. So the first card was the Cosmic Egg card, and I see that I have put some notes on here. I wonder... I don't think that has to do with today, but maybe, because I haven't started yet. And then I also pulled, I'll just point out there at the top that iridescent circle is the icon that represents spirit. So, heavy on the metaphor. This card has the fire icon at the top there. Like the Leo tarot sign is a fire sign, and it's usually depicted with a lion, the symbol of power, the king of the jungle, the regal beast. And the third card I pulled has the air icon, and it is the hummingbird. And the hummingbird, I mean, I'm probably gonna look at the book, maybe. The note I put on here, though, it says imitable and persistent. And the air sign, I believe, represents like ideas and communication. And so, like the wands suit or sweet? Suit. I think it's sweet, but whatever. The hummingbird, I believe the book says that it comes to say stuff, you know, like darts in real quick, maybe to tell you a crucial message that you need to hear. So, before I start with the cards, I just wanted to say that I notice sometimes when, well, you know what? I took notes. Let me just read that. Everything that happens to us is an opportunity to feel every which way we can. If we can put aside our conditioning, our tendencies to judge who we're seeing, to judge what they're doing, and even ourselves. I feel like that's only part of the assignment. Sometimes I feel like my attention is drawn to certain things. I mean, sometimes it gets very pointed, especially if I don't notice right away. When that's the case, a particular thing will recur until I notice it. At that point, and it'll recur in different ways until I'm just like, I'll finally be like, this is that same thing that happened 50 different ways. But usually I catch on by like 3 or 4. Rarely, if ever, does it take me 50 times to notice something happening over and over. Like 3 is usually max. I don't know why you needed to know that, but anyway. So it'll recur until I notice it. At that point, the penny drops and the lesson begins. Namely, I begin to decode all of the ways it should be meaningful. That is how I usually discover what the current lesson is. Or the current lesson plan is for my own self. To look past or into why and how I'm feeling in a given experience or interaction, you know, what I'm feeling. Regardless, even when I may not characterize an experience as meaningful, all I need to do is reflect upon how it makes me feel. And there's always a hidden treasure when you take the time to do the reflection. And especially in the case that I feel like I'm talking about right now, the reflection involves like the mirror style reflection. Like, what are you seeing in this person that is reflecting back at you? That if you're having an emotion about it, if you're having a feeling, there's something there to be mined for information. And particularly if it's like one of those things that make you feel like an unpleasant feeling, you know? Like, I think we have a tendency to kind of like run away from stuff like that, or push it away, or deny it, or whatever, but sometimes you can't, and I think that's when the recurring happens. But to reflect, it is like a looking at yourself, but it's a looking at yourself with this whole other component attached. And then and when I say you, I mean me. I have to figure out like, why has that like become a snag upon my attention, and what am I missing about it, and why am I needing to know this right now? And I'm sure it's different for everyone. I can like sometimes it's instant, sometimes it takes a while. I mean, like years a while sometimes. You just never know when something you learn is going to be important to a situation. Okay, you can really calm down back here. Thank you. So, I don't know. For some reason, I feel like I need to start with this card, and I have no idea why. I don't know what this means. So, you know what a garter snake is? Do you know what a garter is? A garter is like a elastic band that was used to hold up stockings before the elastic was actually woven into the stocking. And then also, obviously that would be for women, but there is a man's garter that they use on their sleeves. Well, I say that like they use them now. Maybe if you're in like a place that does like period costume, like if you're in a Western saloon in a tourist ghost town, you are likely to see somebody wearing an elastic band around their upper arm. And I don't know the purpose of it. It doesn't look like the sleeve is just a sleeve. It's sewn to the shirt. I don't know if it needs to be held on with the garter, but look it up. Look up garter. I'm not interested, but it may tell people who are why someone would have a garter on their sleeve. And usually, last thing about garters, I think, it usually was like an accountant or like a gambling dealer, I think, or someone doing something to do with money and accounting were the people that I associate with wearing a sleeve garter. There you have it. So, garter, I went into all of that because this looks like a garter snake. Do you know what a garter snake is? Well, if you look at it, it's actually, I think, kind of a cute little being. And they do actually exist. I haven't seen one, oh my lord, since the 1970s, but in LA, they used to just be in your yard, and then I stopped seeing them. God, I was still a kid, so I don't know, some kind of evolution thing happened to these poor guys, but I'm sure they like took care of some kind of pest in the garden, which is no reason to like get rid of them. So I don't know what could have caused them to like just disappear. And I just realized that now that they were there and then they weren't, you know, at some point. And I don't think I noticed at the time. The thing about them though is they were very like calm and you could just pick them up, and I never heard of anyone getting bitten by one. I picked up many and never had one turn around and try to bite me, but I've never had any snake try to turn around and bite me. This was not true at the time, but now I know how to treat and respect a snake. But as I remember, these guys, you could just walk up. I don't think they were like particularly afraid of you. You could get real close to them. I mean, they were in the garden, so people were like around them all the time. And you could just pick it up and it would just like look at you, and it would curl up on your hand because your hand was warm, or you could put it in your pocket and it would basically go to sleep. And then like later I'd be all, what the hell? I have a snake in my pocket, and I put it back outside. So I can walk around for a couple of hours with the dang thing in my pocket and come home and be like, what is this? Oh my God, it's the snake. And that is like a happy memory for me, that you can have like such a gentle, pleasant little relationship with a little local woodland creature. So I have no association with anything that I just said other than the garter snake, so I'm going to go ahead and grab the book. Obviously, it's doing the protecting thing around this egg, but it also did that. They do that on your hand, too. That's how they hold on. They don't have digits. So it might not be like as big a deal that it's curled around something. So let me find what am I even looking for? A cosmic egg. There we go. Oh, well, it's the last one. Completion, harmony, infinite within the finite. That made me think of something I don't think I know how to describe. The infinite within the finite. Actually, I guess I can describe it because I was watching a Sterling Psychic Medium show from not this Sunday today, but last week on Sunday, and someone asked a question about something they saw in the sky. And I believe what they said, it was a pink diamond-shaped portal, or a pink diamond shape in the sky, surrounded by a, like, I want to say encircled, but it's not a circle, it's a diamond, but surrounded by a white diamond. And they said, what is that? You know, because he'll tell you, like, if you have your brain tumor making you see crazy stuff, or whatever kind of medical condition that might make you see something that sounds like it was a hallucination, or if it was a supernatural thing. So apparently what she saw was a Palladian mothership. No, wait, that was a different question. She saw a portal opening, but something was going in the portal. So it was like the diamond was like the key that opened the portal. I don't know. But anyway, this woman saw it. And for some reason, it made me think of the infinite within the finite. And gosh, what the heck does that mean? The infinite within the finite makes me think of a nautilus shell. You know, with that golden ratio spiral in it. It's a finite thing you can hold in your hand, but it symbolizes just like endless regeneration, I feel like, the spiral. Anyway, reading what the book says, because I don't know what that has to do with everything else either. The Cosmic Egg is the final card in the Journey of the Animal Spirit deck, and it represents the unfolding of cosmic consciousness. This state emerges after we have tread the path for quite some time. Through self-effort and grace, we experience self-realization. A sense of contentment and oneness spontaneously arises within us, and the veils of our self-limiting beliefs are lifted. Boy, that sure sounds like what I was saying about finding the lesson in every little thing that ever happens ever. I love it when that happens. I don't know if you're making the same connection. I wonder that sometimes, because I feel like sometimes this makes perfect sense. It is a continuation. It is a progression, like a natural progression. And then I'll get all done with it and I'll go, oh wait, maybe that didn't make sense. But by then it's too late. Crapshoot. Anyway, I'm all pleased with myself. Get on with it. When the essence of the cosmic egg has not been activated, we may feel as if we will never get there, or that we travel alone, disconnected from others. Even if our encounter with this card is brief, appearing as a momentary glimmer or flash of interconnectedness, like the portal with its innerness, its potent energy stays with us. The cosmic egg is ready for the fragmentation of modern life. It's through the power of this card that we are reminded of the cosmic contract written at the beginning. Come here and do your lessons. Live out your karma so you can learn whatever the heck you're supposed to be learning from that. We hold on to, this is back to the book. Sorry, that was me ranting. If you couldn't tell the difference. We hold on to life and life holds on to us. The journey is complete, but it does not end. Well, that sounds like we jump into these meat suits and live out our karmas and our lives, and then the suit expires and we, in the soul form, move on to bigger and better things or whatever. So that's kind of cool. It's like the video games with the extra lives. The cosmic egg and the seventh chakra. There's going to be some pronunciation here. The subtle essence of the cosmic egg resides at the crown chakra at the top of the head, called Sahasrara. See, I told you. One of the aims of yoga and meditation practice is to channel energy from the base of the spine upward toward Sahasrara. Each of the 6 lower chakras play an important role along this journey, and once the final epicenter of consciousness is activated, it is said to radiate the light of a million suns. I had a little vision when it was talking about the chakras, and it was sort of like, once the cosmic egg is switched on, it like switches on the chakras, which I don't know if you're familiar with this, but I've heard them described as little motors or engines. And for what they represent, they do drive us. But as far as like enacting them and turning them on, I learned something about deep breathing like yesterday, and it has to do with your cerebral spinal fluid, which doesn't just exist in your head, it is in your spine, but also it kind of is all of the liquid that covers your organs. So it's like not just your spine or your skull, it's just, I guess, wherever the blood and water is not is this fluid. And because it's also very much like the fluid in the embryo sac, it's like liquid stem cell juice, so it protects like your brain. That's the fluid that protects your brain from percussion, you know, it's part of that. And so it's this highly regenerative fluid, and it's actually powerful, and I guess it can be switched on. So one of the things they said was that when you do the deep breathing, as you start and continue the breathing, you can draw the fluid, the cerebrospinal fluid, from your cavity in your torso where your root and sacral chakras are. And as you inhale, it comes up your body, like, and you can actually feel this. Like, I'd been feeling it for a while, and I'm just gonna say that this is what I was feeling. And so you can do it all the way up to the top of your head, and it does all these reactions in your body, and it goes through all the chakras on its way up. So I feel like it's, you know, like turning them on like one by one. I'm thinking of some like movie like Transformers or something, like going, you know, like each part of the flying robot is like one person directs a limb or a body part, you know what I mean? Like, it's not Transformers, but something along those lines. But instead it's your chakras, and they would do like things like the limbs of the robot. So that weird enough, that has to do with the egg and the snake in particular, but what the book had to say was more made more sense, more coherent. Oh man, I might have to take it out again. Well, anyway, so the lion, I started to I talked about it a little bit, like we have those associations, but in I'm thinking of it now as an instructor, kind of, because it's like a model for so many things that we admire it for its strength and beauty, for its ability as a killing machine and a hunter, and all of the things that we admire about animals, and also try to take on ourselves as personality traits, which, okay, I don't know why it's striking me as like a funny thing to do, but it is, because we have all these human things that we got going on, and I don't know why. I mean, I love cats, I love lions, I love animals, but come on, I mean, there's stuff about us that's really cool too. But there are qualities to these beasts that are to be admired, so maybe not a bad thing to aspire to some of those qualities. This I spoke on a little bit. I just feel like it's, here's the instructor, the professor, and here's yet another person coming in with information, or representing a person with information, and everything about a hummingbird is fast. Like, I can't imagine that if they spoke, they don't sound like they inhale helium, and also that gives me a sense of urgency, like that they go so fast and that they're here and gone and everything is so speeded up. It's like, I don't know if that's not urgency, I don't know what is. And it's all about learning this reading, so I feel like the urgency to like pay attention, like you're here, you're seeing, you're learning stuff, but like I was saying, sometimes you have to go deeper and go past, like, what else is here besides the things that have me going, I don't like that, I don't like that person, I don't like what's happening. Why don't you like it? Why don't you like them? Why don't you like what's happening? That is the root, to me, of what I'm supposed to be learning. That's what I feel like. So the unmarked trail card, it's funny that it's about reflection that I wanted to talk about. This is obviously the bottom thing reflecting the top cone situation, but I thought it was interesting that the central connecting stone is just one. So one of these is like yourself and the other is the reflection, and that's for us to look at, like the genuine stack that has ownership of the single uniting stone. Like, this is where I begin, or this is where I begin, and wow, maybe that's a part of it too. Like, can you flip like that? And look how it's like a perfect reflection. Can you flip like that and still be true to yourself? That, okay, I don't know where that came from, but it sounded good. Revelation. Interesting word, especially considering what I just said. But when you are examining yourself through something else, even if you're looking at your something that's not you, and seeing a reflection of yourself that you recognize, or maybe you don't recognize it, it just comes through as like, I don't like that person, I don't like what's happening, I don't like, etc., etc. When you like are consciously in the learning state, like, that you are meaning to take on information, like looking at stuff, examining it to get to mine meaning from it, you know what you're doing. So revelation is, I feel like, when you can look at yourself, something that you know, we think we know ourselves so well, but how many times have we had revelations where we're like, I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know I had that in me. Or I didn't know that that thing that I see about another person that is so annoying is something that I also have. I need to find it and fix it because that annoys me. I don't want to have it. I feel like that is the kind of revelation we can have from self-examination, but also we can have keys to self-examination from examining everything that happens always, all the time around us, because it is really the one time in life, and this is in terms of creating our own reality, it's the one time in life when it's really all about ourselves. Like, I feel like it's the only time where it's like cool to be like, have it be all about yourself. So oh, I guess I started with the 101 card first. Thank you. So again, the subtitle is for the angel card, angel number cards. The subtitle is starting over. So that is not an unusual thing when you are like in school. Every year it starts over. You either got it right last year and you graduated to a new grade, up another level, or you didn't, and you have to stay behind and, you know, go over some things again until you get them right. And there's, you know, I think there's no shame in that. Although when you're a kid and in life generally, there would be shame in that, but I think that's wrong, because thank goodness we have the opportunity to see, like, we didn't get that right, and we can go back, and then we can go back with help. You know, we have like the teachers there that's, they want to be there to help you like learn this and to help you help yourself really, because eventually they're going to kick you out of the school and the nest, and those were your opportunities to learn how to do it on your own. So be thankful, I would say, and take advantage. Like, you know, anyway, I'm just going to read the paragraph here and see what it says. I'm just for now going to ignore the keywords. Happiness is linked to self-expression, growth, and experience. Learning from failures is key. Happiness is real, possible, and around. Understand its process and the pursuit of it. Joy is fluid. Well, you certainly never know when something will surprise you and give you joy, and that could be a revelation. And part of the fluidity probably is akin to maturity, like something that gives you joy when you're an infant. Your changes, your tastes will have evolved by the time you're 20, from the time that plastic keys will give you joy. You know, like actual metal keys to a car when you're 20 might give you a whole lot more joy, or just a different joy, but maybe the same degree. I don't know. I just know that we change and our desires change. So joy is fluid, that tracks. It's in the little things and the big ones. Fails are fun. Start fresh. Well, I mean, I think it takes quite a bit of graduation to get to the point where you're all, fails are fun. I still, like, that's been something I've been studying on for dang near a decade, and I'm still, like, I get it intellectually, but fails, I don't know. I guess fun is fluid. Okay, so I'm just going to hold back on those keywords for now. I may have something to say about them. So for the 1331 card, with the subtitle there of Good Fortune, I'm going to go ahead and read the keywords because they're short and they may have to do with the paragraph. They probably are supposed to, as far as the author of these cards is concerned, but they don't always for me. But then I tend to like kind of go my own way with the interpretations. So, advice, comfort, major change, individuality, independence. Have faith in your skills and talents, as they are a tool that can provide you with a bright future. A piece of good advice, a moment of enlightenment, or a comforting message is on its way. Everything will work out in your favor. Well, golly, that's highly positive. I'm just going to go ahead and read through the keywords here, and I feel like if I say them, like, more rumination will unlock, so I don't know. Intelligence, dynamics, making a difference, failures, personal or spiritual development. Well, I mean, shoot, everything that I talked about, all of those words have a place. Personal or spiritual development. Well, that's kind of what the whole learning experience that I've been talking about is. Like, that's its purpose. Personal and spiritual development. It's like what we always pursue as human beings. Dynamics, well, that's, I don't know, that's relational. Relational with objects, relational with people. Those can be tuned, well, they can come their own way and possibly be tuned to everyone's benefit, and sometimes they can't. That's what happens with dynamics. Now, there's nothing about the word that says successful dynamics every time. They're just a thing that happens. And that's kind of, I feel like, the way that we have to look at our experiences. When I say leave behind the judgment and the conditioning, I feel like we need to look at all of our experiences, all of our dynamics as not something personal, not something out to get us, just a thing. It just describes a situation, really. Making a difference. Well, I mean, that's also the goal with the spiritual and personal development. I mean, that's kind of the point. Failures, just a part of life, and I guess sometimes they're fun. Where was that? It's on here somewhere. Oh, it's on this card, the one I'm looking at. So yeah, it says it to itself and me. And also, failures is a part of the whole school experience. So pretty darn regular and normal stuff, but like, sometimes things have to be pointed out to you. You need a little help seeing things. Like, these help me. Especially when there's like some glob of unspecified awareness that I don't know what to do with, but it's making me feel stuff. So it's like, I gotta figure this out. And maybe that's what it is when the lessons come too. It's like this niggling, this niggling bit of information that is pertinent. Like, it's talking to you for a reason. Like, you should learn this now because there's a reason. I would say specific to each eventuality, so I don't think I can really be more specific on it than that. But yeah, I don't even know what I just said. It's already gone. It flew the coop. I think I better stop talking. Thank you and good night. Learn a thing.